I'm a real nigga, but I'm such a fucking lady since 18. My life been a film like Scorsese, it's crazy. I am still that bitch with a daydream, a day job amazing. I'm cash contemplating. I think about the green and she come to me. Invite her over when I want some company. I love her and she got me living comfortably. I need to pick me up, I pick me up some money. I got it out the limo with eyes. I think it's in my blood to cry. And niggas like to undermine, but it's big Mindy Bow with the underline. I'm a real nigga, but I'm such a fucking lady since 18. My life been a film like Scorsese, it's crazy. I am still that bitch with a daydream, a day job amazing. I'm cash contemplating. I think about the green and she come to me. Invite her over when I want some company. I love her and she got me living comfortably. I need to pick me up, I pick me up some money.
I just dug your bro out and then I took his hoe out. Told me showing skin is a sin, I took some more out. Like I could give a fuck about your rules and regulations. I could give a fuck about the bullshit that you saying. I got bigger balls than any nigga you know. I take all my calls on my other cell phone. They like, oh wow, she about to blow, they late. But anyhow, nice of you to show.
I'm a real nigga, but I'm such a fucking lady since 18. My life been a film like Scorsese, it's crazy. I am still that bitch with a daydream, a day job amazing. I'm cash contemplating. I think about the green and she come to me. Invite her over when I want some company. I love her and she got me living comfortably. I need to pick me up, I pick me up some money.
My name is Dr. Siobhan Fleming, and I am a proud candidate for Clerk of Superior Court in Clayton County, Georgia. I'm a product of Clayton County Public Schools, Jonesboro High School alum, a resident of Clayton County for almost 30 years, raised in Lake Spivey, and now reside in Lovejoy. I hold approximately 25 years of administrative, business, and clerical experience, most right here in Clayton County. Administration is the backbone to any business. The clerk position is a vital piece of the court systems. Superior customer service, organization, follow-up, and increased digitalization is what I plan to bring to the system. Visit me on the World Wide Web at www.voteforfleming.com.
really, really, really young, sometimes when your parents aren't the most successful, you have limited opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was exposed in Atlanta to more opportunities, more options, and a more luxury lifestyle. And I said, how would I be able to do that at the age of 17? Most of these jobs don't pay too much of anything. I said, what do I love to do? And I can actually make money doing it. I looked around, I looked up, I said, blink, blink, blink. I love putting these lashes on. I said, I love putting these lashes on, and people always ask me how to do it. I said, well, I charge people $10, $15 to throw their strips on for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I started to actually get into entrepreneurship and get into the beauty industry, doing eyelash extensions.
Okay. So did you start off or try to go to college? If so, did you finish? Or what made you say, sure?
She want to get juicy, y'all.
Let's get
So, yes, I did go to college. So, I actually love college. I was like that teacher's pet.
Okay.
Like, I was a part of student government. I was the secretary.
you
I was
one
in
of
the
them.
entrepreneurship club. I was in student programming board. But then it dawned on me. I was like, you know what? Well, no, let me back up. Because, I originally wanted to be a counseling psychologist because I have that heart to help people.
Mm-hmm.
But then that thirst for entrepreneurship came. And I actually was like, okay, well, I want to take my entrepreneurship to Atlanta. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take 2 to 3 classes over the summer while I'm working to save the money to move to Atlanta. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening was I did those 2 to 3 classes, signed up for those 2 to 3 classes over the summer while I was working to save money to come to Atlanta. And what happened was I said, you know what? I'm working like 2 jobs to save this money. I'm not going to go to class. My GPA was like a 3.8, something like that. And I was like, well, if I, even if I get a 0 on those classes, I'll be fine. I'm still going to be able to transfer and go to Atlanta. Well, I saved up the money. Come the end of the summer when it was time to actually come to Atlanta, and I went to, I don't know if it was the financial aid office or whatever to get my transcripts. They was like, you never even attended your classes. Therefore, we're dropping your financial aid. We're not going to send them no official transcripts so you can go to Georgia State. So yeah, you're pretty much done. And I'm like, I was hysterically crying because it was a part of my plan to, although I was doing lashes, was to get my degree as well.
Right.
And so she was like, if you would have just attended one day, we would have been able to save your financial aid. But the fact that you did not show up at all, we have to drop you.
Why you didn't show up, girl?
Send any transcripts. I just thought, I was like, if anything, is just going to drop my grades. I didn't know they was going to drop my financial aid. I was like, this is ridiculous. So then it was go time for me. I'm like, all right, well, God, this must be a sign. I don't care. I don't need school. I'm out.
Okay.
So I did try to sneak in Georgia State anyway. I did. I went for like 2 days, and then they started notifying me like, we didn't get your transcripts, whatever, so you can't continue. So I just dropped it.
Okay. I mean, that's a real life thing. Things happen. And sometimes you think you have a plan, but he has another way for you. And if he's going to show you that this is not the way, sometimes he shows you in the most loudest way possible.
Exactly.
Most loudest way possible. I know when all I ever wanted to be was a nurse. That's it. I wanted nothing more in life. And I had a lot of struggles. I had issues with the college that I was at. I left that college, went to another college, still struggled, but I made it. But then when I got there, I know what it feels like when people say, this is it.
Right.
Like, this is it.
Right.
This can't be. This can't be what I worked so hard for. And then I started thinking about ways to transition out because just like you, I care for people. That's why I wanted to be a nurse because I'm a very nurturing person. But I had to find my love again in my own passion, in my own way. Right. So I'm very proud of women like me and you who figure it out as we go along sometimes, but we still figure it out.
We're going to figure it out.
We're going to get there. Don't worry about all the extra
Exactly.
stuff. We're going to get there. So for people who don't understand, explain what PMU or permanent makeup is.
Yes. So we get that question a lot in our field. So it stands for permanent makeup because when we provide the services, we do implement the pigments into the second layer of skin. Therefore, they're semi-permanent inks.
Okay. And
so they last 1 to 3 years. Well, your typical permanent makeup services are going to last you 1 to 3 years or longest 3 to 5 years. So in between that 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 years, you come back to get a touch up. So the services just remain, really highly pigmented and they look fresh and crisp.
Okay, and so when someone is wanting to get that type of, first of all, what all services do you get under PMU? I know main thing is eyebrows, but break it down to what all things you can do semi-permanently as far as that too.
All right. So that's a good question because I am in paramedical and permanent makeup. So paramedical is tattooing for like medical purposes. So that's where you have like your areola tattoos, your stretch mark rejuvenation, and all of those things. When you come into the permanent makeup side, guys, tune in here. You have your ombre brows, so tattoo eyebrows. Mine's are tattooed. You have lip blush, lip neutralization, where you lighten or add color to the lip. I would consider eyelash extensions a semi-permanent makeup, not necessarily tattoo, because it lasts semi-permanently as long as you keep getting them cleaned in your fillings. What else do we have? We have some people get eyeliner, right? I don't necessarily provide that service, but it's within our scope. You can get beauty marks, right?
Like moles.
Yeah.
Okay. People actually get
freckles.
I've seen that on social media.
Yeah, it's
the freckles.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a thing for me, but
it's a thing. I don't know about that either. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to making sure that someone is skilled in the service or that they're safe and sanitized, what is something that a client should look for?
I would say something a client should look for is definitely somebody who is using quality products. Most artists that you can trust will post their workspace online. So that way you can see that it's clean, safe, and sanitary. Pretty much you want to make sure they're following the requirements by the health department. So you'll see that they have to have like cavi wipes, approved cleansing products. You'll see that they clean their space every single day, that they're wiping down their beds and their products with like cavi wipes and things like that. You'll also see that what else can be another way to make sure they're sticking to the proper hygiene? You'll see testimonials from other people saying that they appreciate the services and it was a clean space and things like that too. So,
okay, this is all very, very interesting information. We are just getting into the beginning of this interview. We're going to take a short commercial break. Make sure you guys stay tuned and stay with us as we have Mardasha McMillan in the building, Atlanta's favorite PMU.
Hey, the secret's out. Hits 92.3 is now accepting submissions for brand new shows. That's right, you could become a radio personality right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. You don't have experience? That's okay. You don't live in Georgia? That's okay. You don't know what to do now? Now that's not okay. But your girl is here to help you out. Email us today at hits923newshow@gmail.com and tell us about your potential show with Hits. Again, that email address is hits923newshow@gmail.com. Don't be last. The slots are filling fast.
Body image and positivity are major impacts in today's society. At Nurse to Beauty, we believe in bringing the beauty from within to the forefront. For those of you who are planning to have cosmetic surgery, Nurse to Beauty is ready and available for all of your postoperative needs. My name is Dontricia Dunham, and I am the registered nurse and owner. I have over 10 years of experience with emergency medicine that has aided me in giving quality medical care for cosmetic surgery clients. We specialize in a number of safe and effective options and solutions to help you achieve your ideal body image. Have a one-on-one virtual consultation via phone or private suite location. Have your lymphatic therapies and all other postoperative needs performed by a licensed medical professional. Mobile postoperative services are also available upon request. Not interested in cosmetic surgery at this time? No worries. We also provide an array of body modification services to fulfill all of your beauty enhancement requests. We understand how costly aftercare can be after a cosmetic surgery. Ask about our affordable payment plans today with instant approval and no hard credit check. Log on to www.nursetobeauty.com for more information. Call or text 404-849-0260. For education, client transformations, and reviews, follow all of our social medias at Nurse to Beauty. See you next time.
to Beauty in the Body on Hits 92.3 with Nurse Taye. And again, we have Miss Mardasha in the building, Atlanta's favorite PMU artist. So we were just discussing her transition from a standard career path to entrepreneurship, and also how she started her PMU business and how to make sure that when you are selecting someone for your permanent makeup services, that you are choosing the right, safe, and licensed person. Am I correct?
Amen.
So again, you were saying paramedical tattoo versus PMU. I want you to break that down again for the ones who don't understand and explain the difference between the two.
Yes. So guys, she said something really juicy right there about licensing, but we can come back to that. So the difference between permanent makeup and paramedical. So paramedical is when you're tattooing for medical purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your areolas, your stretch mark rejuvenation, scar acne treatments. Scar treatments, acne treatments, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Permanent makeup is when you come into like your eyebrows, your tattoo eyebrows, your tattoo lips, eyeliners, beauty marks, freckles. I don't know if I would get that done, but that's what it is. Okay,
so you mentioned licensing. So do you want to go into that?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll tap into it a little bit because this is one of those things where it get juicy. It get a little saucy in this space because we all have certain industries. Like, well, you're a nurse, right? You have to go to school. You need to, get your licensing and all that for that. But when it comes to the beauty space, I really think there's a gray area because you have hairstylists and lash artists who may not have their license, but their skill set is better than some of the people who have their license. Yeah. So I like to talk about that because I respect those who went to school and got their license 100%. Mm-hmm. But I also think the people who did not, but still put in those hours to master their craft, they deserve the same acknowledgement, right? Because it's pretty much the same amount of time. I put in 10,000 hours to master my craft. You put in 10,000 hours to get your license, and then you have to learn the craft. And you still maybe have not even reached the point that I've reached. So that's just my little spill. That might get the comments a little juicy because in our industry, a lot of people have comments on that. I respect both sides, but I just want to root for those who may not necessarily have gotten that license yet, but they're still amazing at customer service. They treat their clients well, and they do their skill sets top tier. So,
and I appreciate you mentioning that because even in the healthcare industry, there's people who aren't nurses that can start an IV better than some nurses that I know, or who've been a nurse for 10, 20 years, and they can do skills like the back of their hand. And someone who just came out of college, just came out of school, is very, very behind. So that's what I learned personally is I didn't become a nurse until after school, right? They taught me how to pass the test. Once I started working in my field, that's when I actually became who I am, a strong, confident person in what I do. So how long did it take you to become confident in your skills so where you feel like, okay, I got this?
Some will be surprised by this answer, but it took me like 4 years.
Okay.
So I've been in the beauty industry for 10 years, successful for 6 years without having to work a job or anything like that. Well, about 7 now. But the first 4 years, I was still like, I had all these skills and I was okay before I could be like, listen, if Beyonce called me, I'm going to slay them brows. I'm going to slay them lashes. I'm going to slay them lips, whatever it is. But it took a while to really build that skill. And that's why I talk about the licensing part, because you can have the license, baby, but you can tell me you got your license. But if you can't do top tier work, I'm still not coming in.
Period. I love that. So I saw on your website for booking, because I wanted to ask, what is vitiligo rejuvenation?
So vitiligo is something that actually, it's like an autoimmune disease. People have the autoimmune disease called vitiligo. And so what our goal to do when they come to us is to kind of camouflage it. It's actually one of the most tedious, difficult services that you can actually perform and guarantee results with. So those people, we kind of have like a long consultation process with them to be able to help them get the best results, but it's possible.
Because some people have different like spots on their body where it's spotty, it's blotchy, and it's some have a big. So Winnie Harlow, am I saying her name right?
I think I know who you're talking about. Are you talking about like the superstar?
Winnie Harlow, yes, that has a. How would you do that? Would that take a long time to do?
It would take, as far as the process of actually performing the camouflage, per area, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to perform it per area. But as far as the healing process and getting her results, with these services, you can get with something like that, it will take multiple sessions to get done. But with vitiligo, because it's such a strenuous, complex service to provide, I would definitely think anywhere from 2 to 4 sessions for her. And then you still won't necessarily be able to guarantee the results with that. So even although I'm Atlanta's favorite, we know that, but I wouldn't even send someone who has vitiligo to myself, especially like an extreme case. I would actually send her to some like a master like Chanel in California, or some people that I know who actually mentor me, right? Every coach has a coach.
That's right.
I would send her to somebody who I would trust that can definitely take care of her, because those cases are a little more serious. Now, when it comes to stretch mark rejuvenation or scar rejuvenation, I got you.
Okay. And I appreciate you saying that, because I like you to understand it's okay to say, hey, I would prefer you to go to someone at a higher level before I attempt. Sometimes entrepreneurs, we just feel like we just got to try it all if it's in our field. But at the end of the day, this your name we're talking about. I would rather save my face, my integrity of my business, and say, hey, this is kind of above me. I think it would be in your best interest if you were to go see this person. They really, really, do a good service with that. And I think you would like your results. Exactly. How do you feel about competition in the makeup artist industry?
Oh, baby. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Listen, I definitely think it's competition. But people who have been following me for years know I definitely stand on collaboration over competition. I definitely think that as an entrepreneur, you do have to understand your market share. You do have competitors, but they're more like constituents. You know what I mean? Like, you guys all do the same thing, but at the end of the day, people choose you for a reason. And like Apple, for instance, I like their kind of mindset when it comes to business. It's not that I'm focused on my constituents. I have to understand what they provide, so that way I can become more competitive. And let's take note, right? And drop some gems like I always do. But every 3 years, your market changes, right? There's continued like new technologies coming out and things like that. So you want to be mindful of those things, because if your constituents are paying attention to those things and you aren't, you can be left behind.
Yes.
So like Apple says, kind of what you want to do is focus on becoming better every day. That's what's going to help you. So instead of me being in competition with my constituents, I'm focused on being the best me and producing the best brands that I can do with my given situation.
I love that. I love that response. And okay, so when speaking, if someone wants to get into the industry of doing permanent makeup, what are some skills that someone would need to be a good artist? Like, my first thought would be a steady hand.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely, but see, I think these skills can be learned. I feel like more than anything, when it comes to getting into permanent makeup, you would think that it's your hands, right? You definitely need to have a steady hand in all those things. I feel like those are things that can be taught, but really it's the mindset behind everything, because people think that you can come into this industry and possibly just become rich overnight, or they want to take a class and they think they're going to become successful so fast. The thing is, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So I feel like if you have the mental emotion and the emotional capacity to deal with what comes with learning that skill, because you have to understand, once you take this class, you need to be practicing 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So you can do it, but if you don't have that discipline to make yourself block those birthday dinners, block the vacations, and say, I'm going to sit here for 2 to 4 hours for 6 months straight until I master this skill and work on different models, still be able to get up and go do another eyebrow after you done made somebody else's eyebrow look like it's flying back to the south side of Atlanta. Like, you gotta keep going, sis. You gotta keep going. Mistakes are going to happen. But yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've done it. I done told you. The favorite done did it. Okay. It's been done by everybody.
Everybody makes mistakes. Okay. Everybody makes mistakes, but that's what makes you better. So I did have a question along the lines of that. So would you, or do you recommend going after someone else's work to fix that mistake?
So, like, if somebody else messed someone up, could they come to me?
Yes.
So, correction. Okay. So, I don't specialize in correction, but there's different pigments we can use to lighten a service, or we can do removal. So, I can do those things, but there's our artists out there that specialize in that. So, you want to understand what you're best at. I'm best at doing the services. Can I remove? Yes. Right. But I don't specialize in that. So you let the specialists do what they do. There's people that literally all day, every day, they remove messed up eyebrows and things like that. So I'll refer them out. Shouts out to Carlene at the Perfect Arch.
Okay. That's the same thing for me too. Like, with my business, people aren't coming to me because that like someone else messed up. They just want it to look better. But I can look at someone and tell you're not getting the proper type of massage. I can do that. As far as wounds, I can do minor wound care. I am a nurse, but I am not a specialized wound nurse. I can do minor, packing, remove stitches and all those things. But if it's something more complex, I'm going to be like, baby girl, or sir, ma'am, they, whoever.
Right.
I'm going to need you to go see this person because they're going to do the best by you. So I definitely respect you in your boundaries. And I think we as business owners have to be humble when it comes to that part. It's okay to you feel like you still are the best, and you are. It's just for that situation to be better if that person was to go to someone else, because you never want to mess up your name or your brand.
Shouts out to you with all the post-op care.
Thank you.
Once I go get my little 1-2 done, I know who's going to be hooking me up in the back.
Period. So when a person is getting there, because the most popular service, of course, are the eyebrows. If someone is getting their eyebrows done, please explain the first session versus that immediate follow-up session. Because some people skip the follow-up.
They do. So when your first appointment is to initially get mapped out, fall in love with the shape. The artist will show you the shape. You approve it. She tattoo you to the gods. And now you have this beautiful eyebrow. Some people get freaked out because the eyebrow tends to be darker in the beginning. And so we try to explain that this will heal 40 to 60% lighter. Your body goes through a healing process for 6 to 8 weeks before you come in to get your touch-up. I would say the longest you can stretch that is 12 weeks because we do have a lot of people flying in town to us. So the furthest you can stretch that is 12 weeks. When you come for your touch-up, it's to blend in those spots that may have healed lighter than the other. If your tail didn't heal extended as it was when you first got that initial appointment, you are now allowing the artist a chance to make sure those brows are perfect and as crisp as possible. So that you won't go around saying, oh my God, never go to her. She's this, she's that. My brows didn't heal right. No, it should say it. She should have said it in your consultation, or it should say it in your consent form. You have to come back for your touch-up to give your artist the chance to give you that perfect work. And then lastly, what I do, artists, hint, hint, to make sure it's all wrapped up in there, just tell them $50 or $75 of the payment that they paid initially go towards their touch-up automatically.
I like that. I like that. Because some people don't. Me personally, I like dark brows. I like dark. The darker, the better.
Yes.
So, but some people don't like that. And then sometimes, why does it show up maybe on lighter skin? I don't know. Maybe if it's the ink that they're using, kind of green.
Okay. Ooh, baby, hit me with it. I like these questions. So, that's because they're using the wrong pigment.
Okay.
So pigments, people, they have undertones, and so do your pigments, right? And if you are actually using the same undertone pigment for your client, so say for instance, I have a warm client, right? And I use a warm undertone. So
like a yellow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like red. Yep. That means this color has more red undertones or more yellow. Oh yeah, I keep doing it. Yeah. Red undertones, warmer undertones in the pigment, let's just say, to help it not be confusing, right? And I use a warm undertone on you, but you have a cool undertone, right? So I did not give the pigment an opportunity to cancel out your undertone. So if I do not use the proper pigment, it's going to heal the true undertone that you have. So that's why you see people who sometimes brows heal red or they heal blue, because that's their undertone seeping through their skin.
And can you fix that? Like for the touch up, people like, okay.
You can. So you would neutralize it by like using a pumpkin or like an orange pigment. And that goes all into color theory and stuff like that if y'all want to get sciencey. But yes, so your goal is to neutralize their undertone, which means you want to cancel it out so it can heal the proper color. If you don't do that, it's going to heal their proper undertone.
Okay, so it aligns with that, with the skin camouflage. Is that a different concept? Because
so
we're
it's
matching.
Different. You actually want to match it because you want to camouflage it, right? And you want to blend it together. So, y'all need to sign up for a class.
Okay, we're gonna talk about all that, about how we do all of that. But and I know the skin camouflage is one of the most recent in the last couple of years, I would say, if you would agree, type of surgery. But it is blowing up. Like that is it's a small market. If y'all want to learn how to do it from her, I definitely suggest you tap in on that because there's so many people that don't like their stretch marks or scars. Correct? You do scar correction as well. Or scar camouflage. Now, when it comes to scarring, so I do about it with surgery. How at what point could a client consider getting their scar camouflaged?
They have to wait at least 6 months.
And why is that?
They have to wait at least 6 months because they want to make sure that the scar is fully healed.
Correct. And then as far as like with the pigmentation of it, like sometimes the scars heal, they get darker over time. So you want to make sure that it reaches the full maturity of the color
of the healing process.
That makes sense because I would hate for somebody to get it done too soon
in the middle of and get real
so when it comes to your courses, because obviously you are a teacher and instructor as well, how does that go with the services that you provide with your courses for PMU?
So I have a class for every single service that I provide. Teaching is my passion, right? Because like I said in the beginning of the show, is that I originally wanted to be a counseling psychologist. And as we know, when we provide these services to women from all walks of life, we are kind of like their therapist in a way. So I feel like God knew what he was doing when he put me into this industry. So being a teacher is like another way that I'm able to kind of pour into people too. Because even from the beginning, when people sign up for my classes and when the girls are learning from me, I'm able to pour into them. They're able to pour into me. And I love that connection. So again, I have classes for every service that I have. So I actually partnered with a company called New Conceal. They have a lot of medical grade inks and serums that I really appreciate. I have classes that ATL Fave offers for lashes, lip fillers, brows, lip tattoo. And I love being a teacher because my energy is normally always high. People love training with me. They like to say because of my energy, I put packages together for them. I really started off when I first started. I started off helping single moms because I was a single mom. So whatever people's opinions are, I started teaching eyelash classes and my son used to be in them at 6 months old. So I offered classes to single moms because I understood that process of just needing an opportunity. All right. Of course, as I excelled in the industry and things like that, and I opened up the space, of course, my overhead was higher. So I had to increase class prices. But that's kind of where that's my mission within the class space, is to really help women, give them that stepping stone and opportunity to be able to be successful in the industry. So yeah.
And that's amazing that you provide that type of opportunity. Before we transition to the other things that you do, I had one more question about the services for a client. Are there any type of skin conditions that would be a contraindication, or say, okay, with the skin type that you have, I don't think that doing a semi-permanent service or a skin camouflage would be good?
So that's a really good question. There are contraindications. So that list kind of goes with you can't be pregnant or nursing. You have to stop all medications 24 to 48 hours. They can't, if they have like any eczema, shingles, or anything like that, you guys will have to discuss that. You always want to get medical doctor's notes from the doctor. Always let people know, listen, I'm not a doctor. Maybe if I got Nurse Taye here, I'll probably ask her a couple questions, but I always let people know I'm not a doctor. So if it's anything that I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, ask your doctor, let me know what he says. I'll tell you what I use, what pigments I use, what's in the pigments. Y'all, I cannot stop tapping. What is going on with me? But yeah, I always get that note. But normally, yeah, if they have like anything, because of course, if you have like an open wound or any type of rash around your eyebrow or something like that, you don't want me rubbing pigments and different chemicals and stuff in your eyebrows and things like that.
So what you do, Miss Netta's face?
Is that this lady that I just you know what? She ain't listen. I'm a child of God. I'm not gonna stop
I'm just
praying.
asking.
No, but I would have to see the eyebrow area because I just learned to her like 4 days ago. So she got like real bad acne and stuff like that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I would have to see the brow area because is it mainly here where her outbreaks are? You know what I mean? You might have the space to.
So you might have
still
have the space. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, because some people have really bad areas, but their eyebrows might be okay.
Boom.
Okay. Boom. All right. I got it. All right.
Now I'm gonna have to go check her eyebrows.
And zoom in on it. And
zoom in like, can it be done or what?
All right, so let's talk about the other business ventures that you have. What made you get into real estate?
Right. So real estate, oh my goodness. I have to shout out to a Black king, my child's father. Okay. I feel like we have to give our Black men love. And I had a son by one of the best men on this planet. Okay.
Aww.
And he has supported me so much through my beauty career. But then he always used to tap my shoulder like I keep tapping these nails. And he used to say, you know, you want to take a look at real estate? I'm like, man, I'm over here making $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 a month in the beauty industry. Like, I ain't worried about no real estate. I'm getting it, right? So when you 23, 24, you know, that's like good money to you. Mm-hmm. And he like, yeah, but I make that like on one deal real quick. And if I don't do nothing, I just go to the closing table in one day and that's a check. And I'm just like, wait. So actually, truly, and honestly, my beauty business slowed down a little bit. So it gave me that time to kind of pay attention. Mm-hmm. And when I paid attention, I was like, wow, because you know what's on my vision board now? As my son gets older, he's 6 and he's playing basketball and things like that. I always wanted to open up my flexibility because when I was making that kind of money in beauty, I was always busy.
Gotcha.
I missed every birthday party, every dinner. He always had the baby, picked them up, dropped them off. I was in and out, never really had time. So I said, as my baby grows, I want to grow too. And I want to open up flexibility, still be able to make money, still be able to help people. And I said, okay, when it comes to real estate, not only can I get a bigger bag, right? As entrepreneurs, you want big paydays and you want to buy your time back. I don't want to have to be busy 360 days a year just to make $1 million or whatever your goal is. So real estate opened up that opportunity for me because I can show houses. I have a couple fix and flip. My investors have a couple deals that's coming to the market. And look, I'm able to be here. But if I was in a class, I can't move. If I'm providing services all day, I couldn't be here. Right. But I have deals going on that's going to bring me that type of capital revenue. And I have flexibility. So I love it. I love real estate.
Okay, is that why
I can still help people?
Oh, yes, you can. Definitely. Everybody gotta have so much. So
yeah. Right.
Is that why it's such a popular field to go into?
I feel like real estate is a popular field to go. Actually, I believe I read that being a real estate agent is one of the most one of the happiest jobs you can have. And it is because of that flexibility. You can create large revenue and you can have that flexibility. Yes. And I said that I can help people because, for instance, if you guys see my reviews on my page last night, one of my investors actually, she spoke really big of me because I was able to help her sell her house. I'm helping her invest in real estate, and these are some of the biggest checks she's ever seen in her life. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that. And again, once again, a Black king encouraged me.
That's a word, honey. That's a word. What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions about doing real estate? Because just like everything else, everybody like, okay, I'm going to pass the test and I'm going to start selling this house and get this money tomorrow.
I think that it's kind of a little bit the other way around. I think one of the biggest misconceptions with real estate is that it's harder than what it is. I feel like after, like we just discussed, like learning these skills and really trying to master brows, and it took me years and years to really feel like, okay, I got it for real. With real estate, it's like it's a little easier to me because it's really a people's business. Like I build relationships with people, just like how we on here talking now. Same thing. So it's like you take your class, you learn the information. Most of that information that you learn in your real estate class, you don't really use in the field anyways. So it's really about building those relationships, understanding your contracts. That's not hard to do. You know how to read, right? You know how to digest information. After doing it so many times, it's repetitive.
Gotcha.
So it becomes easy at that point. So I think some people may think that it's hard to become an investor, or some people, when it comes to buying their first home, they see it as hard. Like, I can't do that. Yes, you can.
I love that. I love that. So with real estate, and talking about how the market is right now, everybody's freaking out about the interest rate.
Bad. If you don't hurry up and buy you a house, because them interest rates ain't got nothing to do with it. Even if the interest rate go down, the home prices are still going up. Your average home price right now is about $399,000, baby. They're not going down. So again, if the interest rates go down and the home prices still go up, at least you can refinance your interest rate. You can't refinance your home price.
That makes sense.
So it's better to buy now because the prices are just going to keep going up.
You don't think they're going to come down at all?
The home prices?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Because see, everybody says different things. So how do you do your market research with coming with that answer?
So when you are with one of the best brokers, she gotta help us sit out. Okay, this is my first interview. Okay, help me. Teamwork. Okay. So when you are with one of the best brokers there is, Keller Williams, we have a database that we get weekly newsletters. We have information that we can tap into on a daily basis. And when you're a realtor that wants to stay tapped in and get that information, it's available to you. So we have charts. We understand how fast homes are selling, how slow they are selling, what houses are selling at what price points, what locations, what interest rates are doing now compared to 1 year ago, compared to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. And you see a steady increase. And then on top of that, home prices based on where they were, don't quote me, I think about 10 years ago or where we should be, home prices should actually be higher than they are now. We're actually a little bit behind.
Okay. So interesting. Very, very interesting. So with you and your business, with your real estate lane, how do you make sure that you get your clients to the closing table?
I make sure I get my clients to the closing table by constantly and overly communicating. Like, for instance, this morning I was up talking to clients who haven't even started looking for homes yet. They're in the process of building their credit so they can get to the point where they can buy a home. I'm still staying in communication with you just as if your house, we just put an offer in on your house and we're getting ready to close on it. I'm going to stay in touch with you because you reaching your goals is just as important to me as it is to you, because I love helping my people and especially my minorities to understand that, yes, you can. Don't procrastinate on yourself. I got you.
All right. And then with your investor consulting, talk about that. How do you help people make good investments? Now, is it just for homes or investing into whatever?
So it's just for real estate.
Okay.
For now. I know you never know what God is, do.
Right.
But right now it's for fixing and flipping. So I am a real estate investor consultant. So if you're a beginner investor or if you're curious about what it takes to become an investor, I have a few fix and flips under my belt. I have a property right now that I rent out, Section 8. I also have a couple of other properties. I have land under my belt and things like that. So again, people get nervous about getting started in the industry. Mm-hmm. And with me being a consultant for them, I provide them a number of resources that help them become comfortable when they first start. And then I walk them through that process with their first couple of investment properties. So if you want to do a fix and flip deal, basically how that looks is you'll contact me. I'll provide you with a few resources to get you started, to make you knowledgeable. I actually have an investor that's onboarding today, and something that I recently implemented is I have the Ultimate Investor's Guide. Okay. So now it's like a whole entire pamphlet of information. You take notes as you go. You can put pictures in your guide as you go. So that way, after your first few deals, you're able to invest in fix and flips on your own. So it's another way to help the people get a bag. Okay.
And so people, when they want to do fix and flips, do you have your own construction company that you partner with to flip, or how does that
go? You must know what's going on. I'm pulling out all my little bags of tricks. So yes. So I have partnered with that Black King that I keep talking about. Because he actually had his own renovations company for 20 years. So this is why it's important for each one to teach one, right? Mm-hmm. So I've learned so much just being behind the scenes with him for the past 6-7 years. And now I am launching my own contracting company.
Oh, so I have that's what I'm talking about. Yes. I'm talking about the closets, girl.
Yes. I have a few contractors that I'll be partnered with to help get all the projects done. And of course, he's my primary GC. Shouts out to Sparrow Renovation that does renovation projects all over Atlanta.
All right, so you have brought so much information today. We got to break it down. Let's start with number one. If someone wants to get in contact with you with PMU services or to take one of your courses, where do they go find you?
I would say I am a direct girl. If you want to call me, 716-510-9092. Now, if you want to professionally handle business, feel free to contact me at Mardasha McMillan at kw.com. So that's MARDASHAMCMILLAN at kw.com. You have my phone number, 716-510-9092. And on all social medias, you can either find me at Mardasha McMillan if it's personal or for real estate, or ATL Fave for beauty. So that stands for Atlanta's favorite makeup artist. You type that in, you'll find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And remember that I just love to empower, motivate, and inspire through beauty and real estate.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mardasha, for coming in on this Monday and speaking to us all about the wonderful things you do and educating us on permanent makeup and real estate and investing. So again, if any of y'all are interested in any of those services, make sure you look her up. Save this interview on Nurse Beauty or on Atlanta's Fave PMU or Mardasha McMillan or YouTube.
You find me somewhere, you have no excuses.
Thank you again so much for stopping by. It was wonderful to have you. This is it for this Monday's episode on Beauty in the Body on Hits 92.3. Sunshine, take us out.
They all wanna get with a bad bitch, but the game is I'm really not going to treat it. They just wanna get with a bad bitch. She just wanna get with a bad bitch. She just wanna get with a bad bitch. She just wanna he wanna leave a hickey on my titty, he a bad boy. Think he a player, I'ma add him to the band, boy. Calling me Barbie, say baby, I ain't no damn toy. Hope you brought it back, cause I'm definitely more than you planned for. See, I be in my zone, hit him up on FaceTime, let him see the thong. He heard through the grapevine that I ain't a hoe, and I'm known to have a great time, yeah, that's the cold. Baby, if you wanna go and take that shit, catch me outside, clock on my wrist. When the light hit the ice, it twinkle and glisten, and they